What's up, guys? It's Coop Dizzle here, and welcome back to another episode on the Diamond Society SMP. It is another beautiful day here in the Red Star Slums, and we have a really special episode today. Guys, this episode is going to be in memory of my late wife, Jennifer Cooper, and also known as Coop Dizzle on social media. I mentioned at the beginning of the last episode that my voice sounded a little bit down, and there's a really good reason for that, but I had to cut my personal update out of that video for time purposes. So basically, my wife passed away. I guess I should say my late wife now. She passed away on December 1st. And I've been thinking for a long time now about how to memorialize her in Minecraft. I want to do that in Sanctuary too, but I don't know how. But I know exactly how to do it here on the server. And I think it's going to be really cool. So guys, I want to start the episode out by saying thank you so much. Thank you for joining me for this episode. What I hope will be a really special and meaningful episode for you and for me. And also, thank you again for all the support on the videos, especially on the Diamond Society videos. You guys are killing it. The last episode, to be honest, it didn't perform quite as well as the episodes before that, but I'm not complaining because it still got like 34 likes and it still had almost 120 views. So granted, it's not 160, but that's still over 100 views, which is incredible. So thank you guys so much for all the support on the videos. Now we've got a couple of things to do here right at the start before we get to the memorial build. So let's go check this out. Actually, well, dang it. Because I'm still learning OBS, I ended up losing a clip just now that I tried to record. But I came in here, there was a chest here, this chest with a sign, and it had this elytra on it that said, "Congrats to Coop Dizzle." So that is totally awesome. So BC, thank you so much. BC did an episode where he was fortuning up some diamonds, and he had the Diamond Society members guess how many diamonds he was going to get, and I had the closest guess, so I won a set of elytra, which is really cool. I keep dying, so I lost my other set. Also, this was left by Ethice, Team Dark Green, and there was a really cool sign, really sweet. It said, "Thanks for one of the best times I've ever had," and yeah, so apparently that UHC just meant so much to him that he decided to go and leave these. He left one over at Hodag's as well. So that's really cool, and thank you so much, Ethice. Another thing, next up, is a pet update. You can see we have more dogs now. And Anakin in the comments, he was asking, hey, how's Doggy Fizzle doing? Well, bad news. Doggy Fizzle also passed away. He passed away in the first episode, actually, before episode 1 was even over. I mean, episode 1 of the season. So this is actually Doggy Fizzle the second. What's up, boy? Good boy. And then this is Mrs. Doggy Fizzle. So he has a companion now. And then there's the dog that just sits on the bed. I don't know what that dog... I'll tell you what. In the comments, let me know what we should name this other dog. Because I just wanted a dog that would sit on the bed, because my dogs do that. They tend to sit on the bed all the time. Or on the couch. So anyway, let me know what you think that dog should be named. And we can do that hopefully in the next episode. So next up, oh, you just saw it. That's perfect timing. Did you see the twinkling in the Christmas tree? If not, rewind it and check that out again. But you can see winter and Christmas time have come to the Diamond Society server. Techno Gizmo went around and just put snowmen and snow absolutely everywhere. So I tell you what, I am feeling a little bit frigid. And so we're going to go in here and there it is, skin customization. So we're going to go ahead and put our jacket on for this one. And also, there's another part of my skin that I never showed you guys before. Some goggles. Yeah, so I've got some goggles on because the project we're working on later, the memorial project, which I'm going to go into more detail here in just a little bit, but that is going to be out at the airship. And so since we're going to be, working way up in the air, I figure some goggles would be a good idea. So let us sleep, and then we're going to go... Actually, no, we can check out the decorations here in the dark. It'll actually look pretty nice. So yeah, BC built this amazing Christmas tree, and every once in a while the lights flicker and twinkle, which is really cool. And we've got candy canes and presents all over the place, which is really nice. I'm not going to go into too much detail showing off Christmas decorations, but check this out. This is one of my favorites over here by Silver Coast. And yeah, he alternated redstone torches and regular torches to get a really cool Christmas light effect. And especially from a distance, oh my gosh, it looks so great. And then he put a Santa hat on top of his windmill, which is also super cool. So we're here at Cortez Arena's little area. This is one of my favorite spots on the server, although this little house right here, I mean, it's nothing really, but I added this one recently. You can see I'm adding a few houses just stacked on top of each other, and I'm going to be doing that kind of along the side of this hill here. But anyway, there's a reason for that. We'll get to that in a later episode. But yeah, so I made some changes to the Sanctuary resource pack. I want to get your feedback on it. This is what it looks like right now. And let's go ahead and load up the Sanctuary Resource Pack version 1.1, and we'll look at some of the changes I made. Alright, I am pretty excited, except for one or maybe two blocks, but I think you guys are going to dig this. So, check it out. Isn't that just... it's different, right? It's very, very different. So, let me tell you a couple of the big things. Number one is I tweaked the cobblestone quite a bit. I tried to get it to look... I don't know if I succeeded, but I wanted it to look a little more 3D and more realistic. And basically with the impetus, I think is the word for the change, is that I had a couple of comments on the resource pack that it was too cartoony looking. And so I thought, well, how can I make it a little more realistic and a little more mature looking? And the answer to that for me is to make it a little bit darker and a little less vibrant, a little bit less colorful. So I just sapped a little bit of color, a little bit of vibrance, and darkened some textures a little bit. Mostly the nature-related textures. So I did that to the stone, I did it to the cobble, to all of the stone blocks. So like you can see here, this andesite's a little bit darker. Well, and these are variants too. I added variants to all the stone blocks as well. So this andesite's a little bit darker than this one, and I think this is the mid color, so you can actually see all three variants, which is cool. But then I went through on the man-made blocks, and this will be a little bit harder to see here, but we'll be able to see it in other places. On the man-made blocks, I added a little bit of a gradient to add shading. So that includes the wood planks. The wood planks are not only darker, but they have a little bit of shading to them, which I think looks really nice until you get large areas of wood. And then like if you look right here, see how it's kind of tiled looking? That's not what I'm looking for. So I might have to redo that, the wood blocks, and take the gradient out of that. But it just, I wish there was a good way for me to do that, because without getting that tiled effect. But I just don't know if there's a way to do gradients without getting the tiled effect. So same problem kind of for stone brick. I was trying to go for a more realistic stone brick texture, and you know, I think to some degree, I think I succeeded. This stone brick looks a little more, I don't know, it just looks a little more realistic to me. So again, it's still based on the faithful texture, but I darkened it up, I added a little bit of a gradient to it. I also tweaked the contrast a little bit to try and help the blocks, like the brick parts of it, pop a little more. And I think that when used sparsely, that it looks good. So like if we look over here, you can see I did the same kind of thing to the andesite blocks, and I think that looks, I think that looks so good with the polished andesite. All the polished blocks got it. And but yeah, see, here's the problem, is when you get huge swaths of stone brick. Let's kind of get closer over to Traven's wall. But check this out, like I think this wood looks really good as a walkway, for example. I think, yeah, the walkways look cool. It's just when you have them as roofing, or like in BC's clock tower, it kind of makes that look a little bit worse. But yeah, I like the cobblestone. The darker cobblestone looks cool. I think I'm going to have to end up tweaking the stone brick just a little bit, and I'm going to have to tweak the wood a little bit. And I'm even thinking about maybe trying to add some wood variants. But yeah, here's the problem with the stone brick, is when we get to stuff like this, you know, the andesite definitely helps, but then the stone brick, it just, to me, that looks strange. Doesn't it look strange to you? So give me some feedback on this in the comments, guys. Let me know what you think. Alright, so here we are at the Coop Dizzle airship, or what will one day be the Coop Dizzle airship. Thank you guys so much for your comments on this in the last episode. I hate that freaking lighting glitch. Mojang, fix your lighting glitches, please. Please, please, please. We need a lighting glitch update. That's what we need. And slabs and stairs. So one thing I do want to do, and man, these particle effects are all up in my face, is the way, so I added this quartz here just to help break up this wool block texture. And I think I'd like to do that on the rest of the blimp or balloon or whatever as well. And there's another ring. I'd like to add a ring of just dark oak planks or slabs or something going on each side, wrapping around it, sort of the way this wraps around it, wrapping vertically, I suppose, and see what that does too. I want to put more detail on this, but anyway, today what we're looking at is we're actually looking at some hot air balloons. So, I don't know if I'll be able to find a picture of it. If I can, I'll put it up on the screen. But my wife, oh wait, I have a bed with me. GG. So my wife had a tattoo that she got. At one point, she lost 80 pounds. Now, when she got to 70 pounds down, she got a tattoo to sort of commemorate her achievement. It was a tattoo of a dandelion. And there were 7, I guess you could call them spores, from the dandelion that were being blown away. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, dandelion is one of those, it's one of those, like, I guess flowers, not really flowers, but it's a flower that you blow on, and then if you blow off all of the little pieces, then your wish comes true or whatever. I don't know, you know what I'm talking about? So anyway, she had one of those. It had 7 pieces floating off, and each one represented 10 pounds. And I thought about that, and I thought, you know, something like that would be really cool because it could represent her kind of drifting away, you know? And so what I ended up coming up with for the Diamond Society is hot air balloons. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 hot air balloons here. This one will represent me. This is going to be black and green. And I'm debating whether or not to do white for the boys or black, but the blue one is going to represent Dangerous D, and the red one is going to represent my youngest son. And then all the way up here where this pink block is, that's going to represent my wife. And I might even push that backwards just a little bit. We'll have to see how the other 3 turn out. But the idea is that these balloons are traveling sort of in a convoy with the airship, right? And so we'll be able to see these once we get the actual hull of the ship built. We'll be able to see these really easily. Now, what I'm thinking is the 3 of us, the 3 boys, we're traveling in a pack, right? So we're kind of in a formation. And I want it to look like Jen's balloon was part of that formation, but then it just changed course and started going up and away. So yeah, up and away. I think that works. And I also thought about, I'm kind of torn still. I have time to figure this out, but right now it's sort of middle of the pack drifting off and up above. And then I was also thinking about maybe pushing it behind the pack or behind the formation, as if the formation is leaving her behind or moving on without her, right? But I'm not sure yet. You know, I'm doing pretty well with my grieving so far, but I'm not too sure yet that moving on is like, or moving on without her, I should say, leaving her behind. I don't know that that's how I want to view things. That's kind of how I feel, to be honest, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. There are times, I don't know if I really want to get into it, to be honest, guys. I think I spent more than enough time sort of explaining what we're doing here, so I'm going to get my materials together, and I tell you what, let's go ahead and start off the first hot air balloon. Alright, the first balloon is done. Let's go take a look at it. Let's see if we can fly over here to Dragon Tech Skyscraper, which is looking really nice, by the way. It's another one that I think looks a little bit better with the changes to the Sanctuary pack. But anyway, there she is. Alright, so what do we think? I think it's a little bit strange, and the reason is because I'm trying to do 3 colors. It's not bad. No, it's not bad. But yeah, so basically, in the original design, now I'm following a tutorial because I don't know how to build a hot air balloon, but so I'm following a tutorial, and in the original design, this bottom part is all supposed to be white, and then the top here, the overlay, is all supposed to be one color. And you can see that I tried to kind of split it evenly, but then there's this middle section right here, or this corner section, I should say, that really interferes with that. So I've tried to tweak that multiple ways. I've tried making this all green so that the green overlay is bigger, but then that looks weird. It just does, trust me. I tried making it look all white so that this white kind of comes up and intrudes and acts as a border in between the 2 colors, but that looks even more strange. And so this is my 3rd tweak, just trying to add 1 green block on the side here. It's definitely, so far, that's definitely the best option, I think. I could even, well, see, I don't know if I could go 1 more green block down, because then it runs directly into this side block over here. Yeah. And I don't know if I would like that. Maybe I could do like a quartz block there, and that might help to break it up a little bit. Gosh, guys, I just don't know. I just don't know. So anyway, I'm going to keep tweaking it because the thing is, I really have to make 3 colors work because Jen's, her balloon is going to be the colors of her breast cancer ribbon. And she died from metastatic breast cancer, which, like, breast cancer is a pink ribbon, right? Pretty much everyone knows that one. Metastatic breast cancer is where breast cancer spreads to other parts of the body. Like any kind of metastatic cancer, metastasis means that it has spread. No creeper. No creeper. Pick up some blocks. Good. Let's get back up here. So metastasis is where cancer spreads to other parts of the body. So metastatic breast cancer means that it was originally breast cancer, but then it spread to other parts of the body, which is what happened. I mean, shoot, by the end there, it was everywhere from like her femur up. It was in her bones, it was in her brain, it was in her lymph nodes, it was in her diaphragm. It was all over the place. So anyway, so I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to try that tweak, I'm going to try, see, it's really close, I think. It doesn't need much. I think I'm going to try putting the quartz blocks in here and here on the corners, and then I'm going to go ahead and build up the next balloon. This is going to be Dangerous D's balloon. And then we'll check out the 2 balloons together. I am planning on time-lapsing at least one balloon, hopefully the important one, but maybe this one too. I want to make sure that I get the hang of building this first, you know, because I don't want the time-lapse to be like start, stop, that kind of thing, right? So anyway, I'm going to get back to work, and then we'll come back when this balloon is done. Alright, hopefully you guys enjoyed that little time-lapse. Replay mod is back, and so I'm sure that took me a really long time to figure out how to do, but yeah, it's been a long time since I've been able to use replay mod, so hopefully that turned out pretty well. Now from here, we can we've got this thing in the way, but we can see how the red balloon turned out, and this one represents my youngest son. And you know what? I think from this perspective, it works really well. Like, the problem I was having here seems to get fixed with the black facing towards you because it's sort of like framed, I guess, by the red. Whereas over here, it's a little bit harder. And I did go ahead, by the way, I put in that quartz. I think I was talking about that earlier. I put in a quartz block, and it helps a little bit. I mean, it's still a little bit awkward, but it helps a little bit. So I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it's good enough. We're gonna keep it, you know, is what I'm saying. So anyway, we've got our 3 balloons. Now I'm feeling like that blue one is a little bit too close. But shoot, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, sometimes you just have to do something and be happy about it. You know what I mean? Perspective is a very, very tricky thing. These are actually equally spaced apart, but because of where we're standing, it looks like these 2 are really close together. In fact, I bet if I went over there, we might get an opposite effect. Let's try that real quick. Yeah, these 2 look like they're really close together now, and these look like they're really far apart. Perspective is so weird, man, when you're trying to do that. Did I forget to light the fire on that one? Looks like I did. Oh, and I've got that ugly lighting glitch. Dang it, Mojang. Fix your lighting glitches, please. Pretty please. Okay, but anyway, overall, I would say that these are looking really good, which means now it's time for the really important one. And you know, I've got that right here, that pink block, but I keep pushing these further and further apart. These are already much further apart than I had originally planned them to be. So I think I'm going to do the same thing. I think I'm going to take that one a bit further back, not too far back. I still want it to be part of the pack, sort of, but just looking like it's almost like it's continuing to move forward, but it's way above and off to the side a bit. So I'm going to need a lot more scaffolding blocks to get out there. But yeah, we're going to do this. Going to go ahead and do it in another time lapse, except in this time lapse, I'm not going to set it to music. I'm just going to talk for a few minutes about my former wife and, you know, kind of everything that she meant to me. So, whew. All right, guys. This is the big one, isn't it? And you know, it may not be a big build, but it's kind of an emotional build. So I'm still going to qualify it. We're going to call this one. That's right. Let's do it. Well, to be honest, this may not have been such a great idea because it's really hard to put into words how much Jen meant to me and to my family. I can tell you this, whenever I met Jen, it our story, falling in love, was very much like a movie. We fell hard and fast for each other, and shoot, man, I knew that I wanted to marry her after 2 weeks, and so she really was like a soulmate to me. We loved each other very much, and we understood each other, and we accepted each other. You know, when you're married, it can take a couple of years. It took us a couple of years to really just fully accept each other for our flaws and everything. And once that happened, it was just incredible how deep our love became. And Jen was always really supportive of me. She was always cheering me on, and just helped me. She helped me to achieve my dream, you know. So, and that we did that for each other, actually. While I was in college working to become get a degree in music, I wanted to become a band director. That was my dream job. So I focused on that. She worked so that I wouldn't have to, and that way I could spend time with the family when I was at home, instead of having to go to work and never getting to be with her or our kid. And so she did that, and then in return, when I started teaching, she got to have her dream job of being a stay-at-home mom and wife. And that's the other thing about her, is that she loved our kids so much. That was like all she wanted to do, was to be a full-time mom and a full-time wife. That had been her dream her entire life. So she loved the boys very, very much, and she was so proud of them, and she was a great mom. She would play with the kids. She would do tickle fights with them. She was always telling them how proud she was and how much she loved them, and just, you know, she would shower them with affection. And man, we really do miss her. We really do miss her. Since she's been gone, because I don't think I want to talk about this in the next episode, so I'll kind of move on to this too. Since she's been gone, it's been tough, but it's been getting better every day. Today, I started this episode a long time ago. I've had a lot of editing problems with this one. But today was 1 month. January 1st is when I'm recording this, and it's been 1 month, and we did a little memorial today and just shared good memories, you know, fun memories. And so it's been getting a little bit easier every day, you know, but we still miss her. And so, yeah, she was an amazing wife, an amazing mom, very thoughtful, very selfless, also a great friend and a great daughter. So, whew, man, but we love her and we miss her, and I hope that this build will be a really cool memorial for her. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that little talky bit there. So I thought before we went and took a look at the final product, I guess from the ground level, I wanted to show off. I went ahead and tried to fix the stone brick. I took sort of the lighting gradient out, and I think that's a winner right there for the stone brick. Now, just for comparison's sake, I'm going to load up the Sanctuary version 1 so we can kind of compare these blocks. And there we go. You can see it is a lot brighter. It is a lot more cartoony looking. I don't know. I definitely like the darker look a bit better, I think. So, I mean, they're both good. You know what I mean? They're both good. This one is definitely a bit brighter. And also keep in mind, because I am a YouTuber specifically, I play with my brightness all the way up. So it kind of makes me wonder, with a darker resource pack, I wonder if that's going to influence or impact my video quality at all. So you'll have to let me know, okay? But I think that's a keeper. I think it looks a little bit more lifelike for me. I also worked on the wood planks. Now, I'm going to get a huge FPS drop, so I'm really sorry about that. But I was kind of showing you earlier how the wood planks, they looked tiled, and now they don't. And I really like the color of the oak. I think the oak turned out pretty good. I might toy with a couple of the colors. I like how dark oak turned out. I like how the spruce turned out. But jungle planks, acacia possibly, and for sure the spruce really needs some work. But anyway, let's turn away from there, and let's start to head over to look at the final. Oh, hello! Look at the final product. There we can see the 3 balloons loading in. Let me get over here a little bit more, because I feel like this is the optimal angle right about here. And there's her balloon loading in right now. kind of in the fog a little bit. That's all right. We'll see if we can get a little bit closer. Or maybe it's even kind of appropriate that it's in the fog. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool, and I think it gives some scenery, I think it gives some scenery, I guess. Like, once we get the whole of the ship here, we'll be able to look out and see these balloons, and I think that'll be really cool. But yeah, it just gives that airship something to sit in, so that it's not all by itself, you know what I mean? So, anyway, I think it turned out really cool, guys. You let me know what you think in the comments, and, well, Jen, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you can, I love you. And I miss you. And that's gonna do it, guys, for this episode. Let me go ahead and gear down real quick. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today on this episode. Again, this is a really special, meaningful episode for me, and I'm really happy to share it with you guys. So if you did enjoy the video, please make sure and hit the like button for me. Feel free to share the video with your friends, spread a good word about the channel and the series, and also subscribe, join the Coop Dizzle fam, and that way you can continue to ball hard with us here on the Diamond Society SMP. But until next time, guys, thank you so much again. May you be happy, may you be well, and take care. I'll see you later.